What's up everyone, this is Cher talking, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'll be showcasing the newest Julian in the stage Spiral Corridor Floor 240 versus Kazin. But I don't want to say that this character is a must-have. This is just a character showcase in order for you to understand how this character works, how good he can be depending on the circumstances when used correctly. Well, if you don't remember, Kazin is a very tough fight, one of the hardest fights in the Spiral Tower. He can attack you with 3 physical types, but also Cold and Shadow. And then he can Poison, Stun, Charm, and Confuse. I believe that the Pierce damage is not real, it's just lifesteal. And it's only weak to Pierce, and resistant to Blunt, Lightning, Sun, also Cold, via one of the skills that he can use, in Heat. So there's no many type of elements to attack, and pierce damage dealers are not plenty as slash damage dealers, for example. So Kazin is tough because he gets stronger, like most of the recent bosses, but on turn 8 onwards he's gonna attack multiple times. Then eventually he's going to steal LP and then choose one character to instant kill via Soul Steal. And you cannot do anything. He usually do that starting from turn 11 as the earliest moment, but it's usually turn 15. There's something happened on this fight that I don't fully understand. It seems like Kazin will hate if you buff too much or debuff too much, but even when I was not buffing too much, he was still doing different stuff. Like on turn 3, for example, he will buff break you. But then it sometimes changes and he will buff break you again on turn 5. So it's not really every 3 turns. And then if you debuff him too much, he's going to use the fire weakness. But that's not a problem. I was not aiming to debuff too much. Paulus is someone that will sometimes trigger different behavior with Kazin. GL is another one. So I only brought one character to debuff. And, well, let's discuss the squad. Julian is the best used in either the Rising Phoenix EX or the Rising King formation, because he still wants to draw more enemy attacks towards him. And Kazin is a good fight because he uses many indirect attacks, although not all attacks are going to be indirect. There's something very nice about this Julian. They changed him in Global that if the enemy uses a direct attack versus Julian, he still gets something. He gets this defense boost that lasts for 2 turns, and he grants the enemies this slash and pierce defense down. So even though he does not get a stance of his chase attack, he will make the enemy weaker so that his chase attacks will do more damage. Just remember that in order to get chases, Julian has to be hit by an indirect attack that will give him this attack boost, the last for 2 turns and stacks, and the chance to revenge. That is a chase with flash triple trust, but it's just for that turn only. So Julian should only be using Rising Pale Blade. That's a skill that has delays, so he gets time to be hit via indirect attacks, and then eventually he attacks with delay, and then chases. So Julian never wants to be used on overdrive, unless it's something like using his skill number 2, that gives him the passives, or if you want to use Star Liberation, give him an extra defense up. He didn't need on this fight, so I'm not going to use it here. So that's the whole gameplay. Just keep using Rising Pale Blade. The more indirect attacks you get, the more damage you'll be inflicting. And in this fight, you need one debuffer in, like I said, it's Esper. It can also be Shiel, it can also be, for example, Juji, Paulus, but they may sometimes trigger different behavior from Kazin. You will also need a multi-purpose character, that here is Katarina. She really makes this fight easier because she gives many different effects via doing damage and receiving damage, and she also has a lot of defense boosts. This is not a showcase of Katarina, but she fits in almost all squads from now on. So if you don't have Katarina, it would be nice to bring someone that is similar to either Liz, Enya, Gerard, Sirius, characters like that that have multi-purposes. And my BP generator is Katarina together with Minstrel, because Minstrel will also be giving BP. Minstrel is also another defense booster. If you have Eclat Darme, he will have attack and defense boost, and he can also chase with a skill that gives 1 extra BP. So in this fight, Kazin will also increase the BP cost of your skills, and that can lead to a moment where it will cost so much that you won't have enough. But since this fight will last for at most 11 turns with Julian being used correctly, it's not that big of a problem. Another defense booster for me in this fight is Darius. He's a very good one. He uses Great Blanket of Enjoyment. If you don't have Darius, the closest thing will be Liz. But Darius does have some attack boost that he can give in random. You can also bring Advancing Charge to give this heat up if you want. It's not necessary. Just uses skill number 2. And the other cards like you can use are Anya, like I said, Gerard, Sirius, Liz, and some others. So, based on that, bring your equipments to resist cold and shadow in this fight, and try to have at least 35 resistance for all of these things. If you cannot cover one element, it's okay. You don't need to cover all of it. With that said, let us go. Well, Heart is another character who works super well with Julian because, well, it decreases indirect damage. Julian could also be used in the Mystic Line formation, but in this case, it's not needed since I want to draw more enemy attacks. So I'm going to start by using his Sword and Shield Dance and Minstrel. He can use Rainbow Slash if you want, but in this fight, Kazin will be removing our buffs, so I always prefer to use Eclat Dharma. And not all skills from Kazin will be physical type. He may also use spells. Esper will be using Witch Trick all the time, but if you feel like you want extra BP, you can use Psychic Hunt, since Kazin will use many spells as well. But that can also lead into you having some ailments, but Minstrel will fix that problem. I think with just Minstrel buffing every turn, you will be protected. And if you don't have Minstrel, you should care more about debuffing every single turn. Katarina, I can start with either Ice Fox or Arbalete to decrease damage from skills, like I didn't use my Minstrel for that. I can use Katarina or just use Free Range Schwert. That is something that I will be using. You can have multi-defense boosts, it's better. Because like I said, not all skills from Kazin will be skill-based. Most will not, actually. Uses a lot of spells. Feel like it's like 60% spells, 40% skills. If you decrease damage from skills, you're not decreasing for all attacks. This is a very good combination, and although Minstrel is resisted here, you can see that its damage has Blunt and Sun and then Slash. Slash part feels a little more. See that? He just used a direct skill and we triggered the Slash and Pierce defense down. But this turn, everything will be wasted because he will not be able to chase. All chases are lost. And now on this turn, everything will go fine. I can just use Rising Pale Blade and everything else again. I'll save for Katarina because I don't have VP. Julian is now taunting, so by turn 5 he'll be on max potential. Takes more time than the original Julian. The original Julian is a totally different character that wants to be hit with direct attacks, and he also buffs STR when hit. He's still the superior option most of the time. Here we are trying to just showcase how well this one can be in the right situations. You can also work on Kazin because Kazin also uses many direct attacks. But eventually Kazin uses more indirect attacks, hence why this Julian can be showcased. Ohor will try to apply Confusion. On the first turns, Kazin doesn't attack as often, so let's see how many attacks we have here. 4 chances. Not bad. And Julian, he gets a damage block right after he uses the first skill. So the counter from Kazin is negated. That's actually pretty nice. Let's use everything else. Minstrel doesn't have VP, so I will not even use Convalescence Slash because I don't need to heal. You can see that my cards are always on full HP. In this turn, I could use just Psychic Hunt to see if I can get some extra VP for everyone, since Darius didn't have enough VP as well. Sometimes when your Esper gets chases, she gives lots of VP, but she didn't get so far. That's why I don't have that much. But in this situation, like I said, my Minstrel is buffing the squad, hence why I can sometimes skip the buffing. And I gotta chase now, so if Kazin uses AoE spell, we're gonna get lots of VP. Even Frigid Veil can give you BP. Tornado Blade is skill based, won't give BP. Cyclone is spell based. Okay, Julian will now attack. Around 500,000 for now. You can do more later. Okay, you can use Overdrive with everyone and save for Julian. As you can see, skills are costing more. But I have a lot of VP because of Esper now. I don't think I'll ever run out again. Just one turn. I can take this opportunity to use Advancing Charge, because I can use Fear and Short right after already using once. Taking this opportunity to give heat up so that Julian does a little more damage. Two defense boosts only. Yeah. Katarina gives either 2 or 3 defense boosts. Not even looking if I'm losing my buffs because of Minstrel or not by the end of turn, because they still remove my buffs anyway. So, doesn't matter. Little more than 500,000 now. This is one of those few situations where Minstrel shines if you have his inheritance. That's a lot of chases. I'll be counting on turn 8 how many chases we get, because that will be a lot. Keep all your cycles. Great Banquet of Enjoyment. Now I'll be healing a little more because we spent some turns without healing with Darius. Kazin cuts 5% of our HP each turn via damage. So don't play around. Try to start turn 8 with your full HP. He attacked before Esper did, so that's why damage was high. Esper didn't debuff him yet. Now she did. Psychic Hunt. Amazing. Psychic Hunt also gives defense boost. Now, just use some spells, Kazin. I have Psychic Hunt. I want to heal. Heal BP. Over BP. This turn he didn't use much. You're getting more than 500,000, that's great. Yeah, I mean, Minstrel trigger, they remove buffs. I could see this time. Katarina would just use a normal. Let's hope that Esper is fast enough here. She was. Because she took a big hit and she has the lowest HP of them all. Since she's not hitting for the enemy weakness, she's not self-healing. And Minstrel didn't chase with his skill that heals. Seems like she's in danger. Darius will be healing more. It's turn 6. 2 heals by the end of turn, and then 1 extra heal. Start this next turn, Minstrel will be healing more as well. Overdrive with everyone. I never used Sparkling Tome. I think I'll be using this now. This is the last turn that I can still do something like this. The next turn is turn 8, and that's when Kazin will be attacking a lot. Only 2 defense boosts. Nice, got the extra cheese. Not many attacks. Kazin is just preparing for turn 8. It's turn 8 is gonna be crazy. I hope that Esper doesn't die. But even if she dies, if anyone else dies, you can still do this. Flat army. Brick. Great Bunke. That's nice because I have free insureds again. So we'll have effects from 2 turns stacked. Got evasion. Didn't saw if it was Esper or Julian. Great. Got a combo and then attacking before Kazin attacks is amazing. Then should heal a little more. Ah, Julian. Yeah, it was Esper that got the evasion. Just triggered. Kazin will start a triple strike in a few, where he will use 3 attacks. He'll start doing that in every single turn. Let's see, that's the first hit. That's just 1 chains, 2 chains, 3 chains, 4 chains, 5 chains. I got as many as 8, but depends on the attacks Kazin uses, and sometimes he was attacking some other characters as well. PP cost increased yet again. That's still not a problem because of the characters that I'm using. But hey, Minstrel doesn't have enough VP this time. I will be using... what? No. I feel like this can be the last turn in the fight. I need to use this on overdrive. Darius is buffing the party from turn 5 inwards. That's why we're getting STR and intelligence every turn. Because he was faster than Esper. He is sometimes. Nice, Katarina. 3 hits. Tornado is skill based. Okay, everyone's still alive, and this may be the last attack. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. And Kazin died in 9 turns. That was actually very fast. And I think it's a good showcase of Julian's capabilities. He's a very good character to have, not exactly mandatory. He just makes some fights more interesting by use of a different mechanic. And you got him, that's nice. If you didn't, well, you still don't really need to use him on future challenges. But it's a very interesting character nonetheless. And that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Do you have Julian? Say here on the comment section. If you want to support the channel, we have links in the description. See you soon on the next one. Goodbye.